Hey guys, GH. Welcome to Practice Tee. Okay guys, what I'm going to do today, and of course we've got the theme of conventional golf swing and stuff you do in a conventional golf swing. Guys, what I used to do when I first started playing golf, and I never started playing golf till I was 34, but even when I came to golf I was quite an athlete and I was very strong, and I could just do things then that probably most younger people, 21-year-olds could do. I was probably a lot stronger than a lot of 21-year-olds in those days. And guys, what I used to do, and what helped my ball striking dramatically, was that I always had the feeling that I got the handle past my left leg at impact. Here, that was the feeling, here. Now I had 7 years off when I injured my shoulders back before 2008. From about 2000, well, probably 5 years. And I basically didn't hit many shots at all because my shoulders were really injured. But when I came back, I didn't have the golf swing that I had when I really finished playing, or finished hitting balls before I hurt my shoulders. And I just thought it was just a byproduct of getting older and not having the strength or the athleticism to do it. And I was mentioning it to a friend of mine here last week. And I said, "No, I used to do." He said, "Well, you don't do that anymore." I said, "I know." He said, "Well, why don't you?" I said, "Oh, I don't think I can." And I thought, well, don't think I can. Well, maybe I can't because I haven't tried it. And guys, I just went back to doing it straight away. I mean, instantaneously. I thought, get the handle past the lead side. And I used to call it breaching the wall. If that's a wall there, I used to breach the wall. I used to get the hands past and breach the wall. Handle in, looking down the line, handle in, here. And guys, I've got to tell you, I think it's the real secret to the golf swing, if you can do it. It's the thing that will give you fantastic impact and consistency of strike. Now, when you first start doing it, it'll feel terrible. It'll feel like you'll never release the golf club. But because you create so much leverage on the golf club here, it has to release. It just has to release. We saw so much of it in Hogan, to the extent that we never saw Hogan doing this in the golf swing. Hogan was here. Hogan went here, and he finished like this, which means he didn't roll the club over. Okay, we saw some pictures of Hogan, sometimes with the driver where he was way up here, but that was with the driver. And that was more early Hogan than it was post-accident Hogan. Now guys, I'm certainly no Hogan, and I was no great ball striker either. I was adequate, but I was very consistent. I used to hit the ball pretty hard and could really, put a little bit of hurt on the golf ball. And guys, I've got to tell you, once I started doing it last week, it all came back, and I thought, that's what I haven't had. That's what I haven't had since I came back. And that's why my ball striking has been, well, it's been okay, but it certainly wasn't at the level that it was before I hurt my shoulders. So guys, I think it's the real secret of ball striking. And what is it? Well guys, it's simply this. In the coming into impact, we're pulling with our hand, with our pivot release anyway. We're pulling, but don't just pull with this hand. Pull with both hands. Like pull, if you had a big chain here hooked to something, and you were coming and you're trying to pull a concrete block on a chain, you wouldn't just pull with one hand, you pull with both hands. You pull with both arms. You pull with your chest. You pull your shoulder up. You pull like that. You wouldn't go like that. You pull like that. And the secret is pulling both hands. And I mean really pulling both hands. And try and pull them over here. If we've got a golf ball here, Byron Nelson used to talk about the second ball. He said he felt that he tried to hit a ball that was 6 inches in front of the first ball here. Well guys, why not try and hit a fourth ball that's 18 inches over here? Try and hit that golf ball. And we don't want you to hit that golf ball by doing that. We want you to get the golf club to that ball. Now I haven't hit a shot today, and it's very cold and a very dank type of day. And being at my age, I'm very stiff. But I know that after resurrecting this last week, I can just stand up here like this with the pivot release. Now guys, there's the first shot of the day. That's the first shot of the day. that's a 6 iron, and that is just as pure as the driven snow, as Mo Norman would say. Just a perfect, and the ground's wet here, guys. It's been raining all night, and I'm over in the cow paddock because the range is full. Guys, it's that. Trying to do that. Okay, now in pulling the handle past the ball, as I say, you've got to pull both hands. And see that angle there? Try and keep that angle. As you're pulling, try and pull that way. Feel it's that type of action. See what happens front on when I do that? If I keep that, look at the blade, it's dead square. Dead square. And you'll feel like your hands are powering down, they're forcing down. Okay, we've got the pivot connection where we're here, we're locked in up the top. We're going to pull it in with the chest, but we're going to pull, as we're pulling in with the chest, we're pulling with the hands and arms at the same time. Now, I said the other day that the pivot release was a no hands release. Well, this is the pivot release, but it's actually including the hands and the arms as a feeling. We're not flapping the hands, they're getting pulled in, but we're pulling very, very hard. We're not throwing, it's a pull action. We're trying to pull that handle past there. And I've got a lot of pressure in the pivot here. We don't want to move, we're just going to push it back and pull it through. Now when you're doing it, that's a great shot, and when you're doing it and you're getting the feel of it, you'll end up with that type of finish on the release. Here, if you pull hard enough, you'll feel like this because you'll be holding off. It'll actually feel like a straight block shot when you're learning it. What you'll do down the track is that you'll pull it here and then you'll get the normal release factor over here. But initially you should get that look about you. And if you can get that look, you'll actually get some good contact. I'm sliding all over the place here, guys, because the grass is so wet and it's long. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get here. What you mustn't do, guys, what you must not do is in pulling with your chest and the hands and the handle, you mustn't pull the head forward. You've got to pull it, you've got to pull those under the head, like that, here. Don't get so much tension up here that you pull the head forward. Pull the head forward, you'll never ever release the club. You'll probably shank the ball. So here we go. And guys, really try and keep the head steady. I'm not thinking of any pivot in the backswing. I'm just pushing it back with my chest with the momentum on the club here. And then I'm pulling it to there. That's what I want to feel. And I am as stiff as a board. So push back. It's just, and try and do it nice and smoothly. You don't have to have any speed on at all. Just do it nice and smoothly. Don't have to have any speed on. Now I'll just hit a couple with that action and I won't have any release on it, and then I'll start to release it. Just hit a couple more and then I'll release it. Now it's all chest, all arms, all pulling, all together. Not one or the other. They're all together. Guys, I promise you the ball doesn't move. It doesn't move. All right, now I'll incorporate the release with it. There's the release. So I finish here. There, club's dead square. It's not like that, it's there. When you're doing it and learning it, you'll end up with high hands. Because if you're pulling it hard enough, if you're really pulling it hard enough, you'll end up with high hands. A little bit Mo Normanish. See here guys, that's full release, look. Okay, the hands are high. You know why they're high? Because I'm stretching my arms. And maybe the first shots, I hadn't hit any shots. So I was really cold. Just starting to get a little bit warmed up now. But guys, because I'm pulling so hard, your arms are going to elongate. They're going to stretch. You'll get a bit of, I'll just turn that camera around a bit. You'll get a bit of elongation of the arms, which is good. It's actually very good. All right, now I'm warmed up. I hit a perfect shot with full release. And my arms will be here. We don't want this. Okay, now nice and smooth. If I never hit the ball better than that, guys, I'll be the happiest guy in the world. I promise you that's as good as JH can hit the ball. Okay, I'm warmed up now. Those early shots were a little abbreviated, but that was just perfect ball strike. Just a wonderful ball strike then. See how long my arms are? I'm breaching the wall. I'm hitting the fourth ball. What does it feel like? It feels like that. It feels like a shove, like a pull shove. You're pulling and shoving. That's what it feels like. Okay, come on, Jay. Full release. See how long the arms get, guys. Now I'm aiming at the goal post up here, and I'm getting a goal every shot. Now I'm a bit, how's your uncle with my balance at the moment, because it's pulling me forward so much. I've got to resist with my head. I'll tell you what, guys, one thing that you'll find is the ball will never go left. It will just never ever go left for a right-hander. Okay, Jace, come on, nice release. Pivot release, lots of connection. That's how I want to hit it. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. I'll hit one this way. Grass is so wet, guys. I've just got to try to find somewhere that's dry. It's really wet underfoot, the whole box and dice. I'm a fair way back from the camera, but watch this. Okay, we get long arms. That's the whole idea. If you don't get long arms, you're not pulling hard enough. You're not extending past the ball enough. That's a good indicator. You're not pulling past the ball enough if you don't get the long arms. And be really smooth on the backswing. There it is. Now we're getting it. Now we're getting it. Now I'm loosened up a little bit. The other shots were all perfect, but they didn't have the strike that these last ones have got. Be nice and smooth. Be very tight in the connection. Keep the head steady. I don't feel like I move at all. I don't feel like I'm moving my hips, nothing. Just staying still, extending back there as far as I can, and of course extending the handle past the ball. Guys, every one of those between the posts. I mean, every one. Okay, you'll get that those long arms if you're extending. If you don't extend, you'll get short arms. Maybe that's why Mo Norman had the long arms, because he extended so much. And he really did pull with his left arm, and no question he pulled with his right arm as well. That's it, guys. That's how I used to hit it when I was 34. That's how I hit it when I was 34. As good as that. I promise you, that's how I hit it. So if they say you can't improve your swing as you get older, not true. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera, but boy, that's good impact. That's wonderful impact. Here, that's what I feel. Okay, you won't start out with a 6-iron or a 5-iron. Just get a wedge or something and hit a couple of shots with a wedge or a short iron. Okay, now really hammer this, but nice and smooth backswing. Push it back, pull it through with the pivot. There it is, guys. I haven't had a look at this on camera, so I don't know what it looks like yet. First time I've done it on camera. They're super shots, absolutely super shots. Just hit a couple of 3-woods. The JH 3-wood. It's a goal the same as with the iron. The only difference is it's like 60 yards longer. Exactly the same ball flight out of wet grass. Oh, come on. Grass is so wet. I'm hitting from here because I want to stay in the camera and I want to be on the post. Got 4 posts, guys. We've got the first one, the second one is about 5 metres apart, the third one's about 6 metres apart, and the last one's about 5 metres apart, so that's our target. Come on, Jason. Push and pull. Push. Now they're just straight between the posts, and I'm digging this out of mud. Virtually out of mud. It's so wet, guys, that my feet just slipped coming into the ball then. My feet just slipped. Straight between the posts. It's been raining all night, guys. The ground is just mud. And the trouble with rubber spikes, they just slip. Come on, Jason. A lot of extension. Big pivot release. One more. Let's do it really smooth. I'll just hit a couple of drivers. Very hard. It'll be hard to hit the drivers, guys, because I'll need some footing, and I really don't have any footing with the rubber spikes in the wet ground. This will be tough. But I'll go for the goalpost. There's no wind today, none. Wow. Okay, the swing will look a bit stick man-y or tin man, but that's because I want to keep the angles. I don't want to snap load or anything like that. I don't want to do that. That's just straight between the middle posts. Come on, Jase, push it back. I promise you guys, Boy Scouts honour, those shots are straighter than the straightest wedge that you can hit. And they're strong. There's not a breath of wind here today. So unusual for the JH practice team. It's perfect golf shots. It's hard to hit it with the wet grass. Push it back, Jase. Push it. I don't know if you can hear that, but that contact is just super. Yeah, you want long arms. You don't want any drive. Just got connection, just pulling it through. The chest and arms pull the club through. Lots of connection. Come on, Jase. See how the left arm doesn't want to go over here? Because you're pulling so hard with that left hand and left arm. It's quite physical to do, guys. It's quite physical. All right, last shot. Smash this. Yeah. Just slipped a little bit, still went dead straight. Just hard. When you're trying to download, you just get that. Come on, just smooth it. Good thing about that, I just moved, but it still went dead straight. See, the arms are swinging past the body, guys. They're swinging past the body. The body's not going with it. The arms are doing this. Last shot. Come on. Lots of extension. Well, guys, every one of those drives go between the goalposts. From the outside post to the inside post is about 16 metres. And every one of those is in between those posts. All right, last shot. Give it a big hit, Jase. Come on, full extension. See how long the arms are. I can't believe how, it almost feels like, I'm going to hit some more. It almost feels like the hands are trying to catch up to the ball. See how strong it's going. It's physical, I'm puffing. It's quite physical. And JH is reasonably fit. Push it back, Jay, and pull. That could be the best drive that JH has ever hit on the JH practice tee. You've heard that before, but that could be it. What's interesting, guys, is that the impact feels like the best crushed wedge that you've ever had in terms of compression. Oh, it's athletic. I'm puffing. And it's quite cold. Come on, Jase. See it hit. I don't think I'm turning or not trying to do anything. Just trying to push it back here. Get that momentum loading with the chest. Push it and then pull it. Come on, Jase. Last shot. Wow, it just gives me, such long arms. Maybe that's what Mo Norman did. Maybe that's why his arms were so long looking. Maybe that's what he did, guys. That's what I feel like. I feel like my arms are going to do that. You have to get extend. They're crazy. They're wedge accuracy with the driver. You've got to get that extension if you hit it with that pulling action, trying to get the handle past the ball. I'll try and overdo this. I'll try and get the handle over here. And when you'll clearly see that I'm probably only here. But I feel like I want to be there. All right, now I'll get a bit of release on this one. It is Mo Normanish in terms of the arms. I have to get that arm action because I'm pulling so hard with my hands and arms. They want to go there. They don't want to go over here. They want to go there. It's amazing. Maybe that's what he did. Every shot's the same. No curvature on the ball, none. No curvature. I'm just going to keep hitting balls. Keep on this way. See the arms. Okay guys, that's the story. So what do we call it? Call it breaching the wall. This is the wall. We've got to breach it with the hands. Just, if you're going to learn it, just get a short iron, 9-iron, 8-iron or something, or wedge or whatever you want. And just hit a couple of these type of shots. Just pull it. Push back, pull that handle in front. Like that. And try and finish there. Try and get that handle as far past as you can. Try and do it smooth on the backswing. Pull. Pull. Feel like there's no wrist break at all. None. All right, you can just soften it up a little bit, push, pull. Gee, that's Mo Norman type. Wow. Just do that, guys, to learn it. The hands over here. Okay guys, we'll call it breaching the wall. I think it's the real secret to good hitting and accuracy. I'll do more on it as the week progresses. But that's the first day and I'll just hit it like a dart.